A question that came from a gentleman who emailed me directly, and he asked, what do I think of Bovet and Pascal Raffy?
Bovet is super cool. It's so cool. It's
ultimate watch nerd brand.
It's a watch nerd brand. It'll never sell units because they're that unique. Bovet, most of them are based off pocket watch cases, right?
Yes, the Amadeo case. It's one, it's the other.
So your crown is at 12 most of the time. A lot of them have this feature where you can like flip them over and use them as a table clock, which is very, very cool. They make, you were educating me, about 1,200 pieces a year?
Yeah, it's about right. That's where they are now.
It's the ultimate, I call it a master of the universe watch. You know, when it doesn't matter what you wear because you have enough money to buy whatever you want, and you see a Bovet and like, wow, that's different. That's why you buy a Bovet.
Yeah. And here's the thing, there's a huge spectrum of Bovet, from things like the Pheline collaboration, where you're basically getting a high style watch, $32,000 for one of the Pheline watches with an ETA based caliber. This is along the lines of what MB&F and DeWitt and also Richard Mille to an extent have done to pay the bills by having a volume seller that's based on a customer caliber, but giving it a unique aesthetic treatment so it could never be mistaken for any.
Custos' entire line is based on that.
Could never be mistaken for anything else. And then there are the high-end Bovets, and this is where you really have to open the wallet or even the whole bank account. Something like the Recital 18 Shooting Star, a World Time, a Tourbillon, skeletonized, engraved, enameled, retrograde. I mean, all of these features packed into one watch, and you're paying north of 300,000 Swiss francs for it, and it's worth it.
And you get that unmistaken look of a pocket watch on your wrist.
Yes, also true. And not just a pocket watch, but like a pocket watch that would impress like Louis XIV.
Yeah, like a Marie Antoinette style pocket watch.
Yeah, like this was built just before like a monarchy collapsed, like that kind of look.
Yeah, and no, listen, definitely very cool. And actually, Bovet, I don't know in most of the U.S., but they just opened a boutique in New York about 2 years ago.
That's
which
true.
is very interesting to have such a small brand open a boutique. Best of luck if you're in New York. Go to Central Park South and play with the pieces. They're very, very interesting.
And the New York boutique that Federico mentions was Bovet's first in the U.S. There's still, I think, maybe a half dozen points of sale total in the U.S. So it's a very bespoke experience, even if you're buying one of their mass-produced, and that's a very loosely used term.
Yeah, mass-produced, what are we talking
Let's talk, okay, not a piece unique. You're buying a series-produced Bovet.
There's like 30 of them.
It's going to be a very bespoke experience, a very good brand run by good people. Pascal Raffy is a character. I've heard things, he can be a little bit difficult to work with. He's wildly imaginative. A guy like that has to be an absolute thunderbolt.
But hold on there. I mean, have you ever heard of a story of one of these namesakes or one of these famous watchmakers that isn't a thunderbolt or isn't hard to work with? I mean, I hear F.P. Journe. I know because I've met the man.
Yeah.
Is just, you either love him or you absolutely hate him. He's a great guy, but he's arrogant. He doesn't listen to anybody.
It's true.
He's F.P. Journe.
You'll go to the event and he'll be like with his 2 or 3 guys that he knows, and you gotta fight your way into the conversation with whatever French you've got. And believe me, for me, that's tough.
Or what about my favorite story, Roger Dubuis, the co-owner Carlos Diaz, who's no longer the co-owner, was such a megalomaniac that in the manufacturer, I visited the manufacturer, the carpet was a barcode. And if you scanned the barcode, it would say Carlos Diaz. The entire carpet was, embroidered with his name in barcode form.
That's like an all-new way of being insane. Like, that's a historic first.
I mean, these guys are these geniuses, because they are geniuses. They're not normal. They're big personalities.
And actually, there's a reason why when they announced Roger Dubuis had returned to his brand in 2012, the question, why did he leave? Now you know the answer.
Yeah, now you know Google Carlos Diaz.
So basically, I think you're really going to like what Bovet has to offer as long as you take an open mind to their style. Not everyone is going to buy into the way the watches look. They're very elaborate, very flamboyant. Regardless of price point, they're designed to look very different from anything else on the market.
Absolutely, and to me that's a plus.
I would say so too. A brand that's making very few watches, that's not afraid to hardly advertise anywhere.
Nowhere.
The only advertising I know of is that they brand the clocks in the Miami airport. That's the only case I've ever seen of a Bovet sponsorship, ad, promotion, anything.
I've seen them, these watch companies, sometimes they buy sponsorship in these magazines no one reads, like Gotham Magazine or West Palm Beach Magazine.
Yeah, we're not talking like DuPont's Registry. That's almost mainstream compared to this sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen an advertisement in there. I think a circulation of like 45 people, you know, but listen, they're not, even if they advertise, they wouldn't sell more watches because they're just for a certain type of public.